A massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Russia has led to tsunami warnings being issued across the Pacific. This is a developing situation, but it is one that has a lot of people, including passengers on cruise ships, very worried. I'm Chris Frame, the maritime historian, and this is a fast-changing situation that is impacting people around the world. A tsunami is a series of long and powerful waves, most often caused by a large, sudden displacement on the ocean floor from an underwater earthquake, as we have seen off the east coast of Russia. Warnings have been issued for many regions, including Hawaii, the west coast of the United States, Alaska, Russia, Japan, and Mexico, putting cruise ships in these areas on high alert for the next few hours. In fact, as I record this, the water is 10 feet or 3 meters higher near Hawaii. On board the cruise ship, the crew's number one priority is always passenger safety. Cruise lines are on high alert and taking steps to ensure that ships are as safe as possible from the impact of the tsunami. One strategy is to get the ships into open sea, as a tsunami in open ocean is very different from the one that hits the coast. Unlike rogue waves which break out at sea, tsunamis generally break on land. Out on the open ocean, such waves are often barely noticeable to a ship, as they have a very long wavelength and a low wave height, so a ship might only feel a gradual, insignificant rise and fall. It's when these waves approach the coast that they become dangerous. As the water becomes shallower, the waves slow down and their energy is compressed, causing them to build up to a massive height. This is what creates the devastating flooding and powerful currents that can cause widespread destruction on land. And it is this reason that so many nations have issued alerts. This reality has led to local cruise operators such as Norwegian Cruise Line to respond, with the Pride of America, for example, departing from Hilo Harbor several hours earlier than scheduled. In other areas of the Pacific, there are significant warnings in place. New Caledonia, French Polynesia, and other Pacific nations are expecting waves to increase in height between 3.3 feet and 9.8 feet. One of the reasons that there is so much concern among the cruising public, especially those in the Northern Hemisphere, is the time of year when this tsunami is taking place. There are a lot of cruise ships in the Alaska region, for example, as well as the west coast of the United States and Mexico, and even Japan in the summer months. For example, if we look at just one region, Alaska, we can see that the Pacific World, Seven Seas Explorer, Coral Princess, Celebrity Solstice, Celebrity Edge, Nordam, Eurodam, Discovery Princess, Celebrity Summit, and Serenade of the Seas are just a few of the many, many ships in this region. Additionally, AIS data shows us that the Villavi Odyssey was sailing quite close to the epicenter of the quake. However, as noted before, the nature of tsunamis means that it is unlikely that much would have been noticed on board the ship. During the period of concern, cruise ships will stay in contact with emergency services and port authorities, which will keep them apprised of the developing situation. We've seen how seriously these warnings are being taken. For example, guests at resorts in Hawaii have reportedly been moved to higher floors as a safety measure, as well as the early departure of the Pride of America that I mentioned before. As for the coming days, well, at the moment cruise lines haven't made any broad announcements about their next steps or if any ports will be skipped. But this is a very fluid situation, and aftershocks could continue for a few days, so some coastal itineraries may be affected in the coming days. The cruise lines will no doubt update guests on board with all the latest information regarding their itineraries, sea conditions, and any safety procedures that need to be taken into account. We are of course thinking about all those impacted and hope that everyone in the impacted areas remains safe and can find secure and safe accommodation during this period of concern. You are in our thoughts. Stay safe out there, and for current and up-to-date information, check your country's trusted news sources and government advisories. And if you'd like to learn more about the difference between tsunamis and rogue waves, check out my video about rogue waves, which I've linked in the description below. As always, thank you to our channel members who help make our videos possible. And until next time, we hope that everyone remains safe.